KB.
Oh,
Not KB.
yes, you're correct. What's going on,
Do
people? It's the Mind Your Business podcast. It's your man JB with you once again, and today's episode we have Miss Ana Lorenza.
What's going on? You got it.
I got it. I got it. See,
That
let me tell
that
you
was
guys.
perfect.
I have been calling her Anna for forever and a day. I probably even said Anna on the last show, but it's Ana Lorenza, and she's out in you're in Cali, right?
I'm in sunny San Diego, California. Yes.
And that's where you're from?
I actually lived in Virginia all my life.
Wait, wait, wait,
Like
wait, wait.
all
What part?
oh, Charlottesville.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. So then
Yeah. You're in Virginia too,
I
right? Correct me
am.
if I'm wrong.
I'm in Williamsburg.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, for sure.
up in Williamsburg. So let me ask you this: how did you end up going from Virginia to California?
All right. So I grew up in Virginia all my life. And my parents, they're both pastors, okay? So they had a church
All right.
in
So I grew
Charlottesville.
up in Virginia
And
all my
oh, I can
life, and
hear that
my
echo.
parents they're both pastors. Okay, so Go ahead. That's me messing up.
Okay, for sure. All right, I bet. To keep a really long story short, they're pastors and they hear God's voice well. And whenever they feel like God's telling them to do something, they don't hesitate. They just go and do it. So when they brought up the idea to me, they were like, I think they were kind of nervous to tell me because, like I said, I grew up in Virginia.
Mhm.
My mom comes up to me, she's like, "Hey, Anna, we're thinking about moving." I said, "Get me out of Virginia. Let's go
Okay.
to Cali. Like, let's do it. I'm so ready for this." The backstory behind that is when I was like 8 or 7, I kind of just always knew that I was meant to be in California.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know what that looked like or what that meant, but I just knew that God kind of like showed me at that young age that I was meant to be on this side of the country.
Mm.
So when the idea came up, I was like, "All right, let's go. I'm cool. I lived my life in Virginia. Let's wrap it up. Let's go." So that's long story short.
Wow. Okay. And so now let me ask you this: I've always wanted to go to Cali, never been. So what is it like out there?
Oh, it's so different. It's so different compared to Virginia. I will say, especially the city that I was from, um, Charlottesville's more conservative.
Hmm.
More conservative. When I came out here, it was just like you are free to be ever to do whatever you want to do, to be whoever you want to be, and no one really like judges each other. Like people just dress however they want
Okay.
in the city, especially if you go up to LA, it's like that too. But in San Diego, just like physically the difference is crazy. I live now 15 minutes away from the beach,
Hmm.
where before I would have to take a 3-hour drive to spend a weekend at the beach.
Got it. Okay.
um so it's beautiful, it's tropical, it's nice, it's sunny all the time.
Is it?
So there's like no days off, so you don't have an excuse for snow, you don't have an excuse for heavy
Wow.
rain, none of that. There's no days off out here. So yeah, I love it, I love it.
So it sounds like you're trying to sell it. You're definitely trying to sell everybody to come to California. But it's cool. It's cool. One day I'm gonna make it out there. I don't know what day yet. I'm gonna make it. But let
For
me ask you
sure.
this. So let me ask you this, and that kind of leads us into. So when I came across, and I'm an Instagram guy and social media and stuff.
Yeah.
So when I came across your page, and I saw what you did, and you I don't know. I don't know. They're skits. I don't know what you call them. I don't know. You know, I'm an older guy. So I don't know if they're skits or whatever. So you got these things you do. I guess they post on TikTok, and then you do the dances, you do your choreography and things of that nature.
Yes.
My question to you is this: with everything that's going on in the world, and you kind of even said it, how things are in Cali. Everybody's free and they do what they want to do, blah blah blah. Um,
Mhm.
with that, how are you able to continue to do what you do via social media? And I get it. Your parents are pastors, and and that's great. But there's a lot of kids out here whose parents are pastors. At the end of the day, they wild as I don't know what. Um, so what is it about you? And
Mm.
and 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 this is not just for me. And I've got children. and some of the listeners and viewers have children. But what is it that has been instilled in you? Um, what is it that keeps you not only listen to what your parents have probably said for a long time, but that even as far as your faith and your standards go, and not being willing to compromise, like what's that about? Like how does that work?
I got you. So I really do. I need to give a huge shout out to my parents and anyone who's listening or can relate to this. Being a pastor's kid is not easy. Okay, it comes with its high highs. It comes with its low lows. My dad being a pastor, traveling, it was really cool to travel with him. Being a kid, that was really, really, really cool. Um, and then there were those moments where when I did start high school, and people found out, like, oh, her parents are pastors.
Mm-hmm.
This is like Miss Goody Two
Mm-hmm.
Shoes, whatever they say, all the things that they say about being a PK, or like all it almost felt like all their eyes were kind of on me to see
Mm-hmm.
when I would mess up, how I would mess up, how bad I would
Okay.
mess up. And I didn't really experience that. I was homeschooled all my life up until high school, so I didn't really experience that until then. My parents did a really good job of really raising us
Mm-hmm.
in faith, but also giving us room when we reach a certain age to kind of choose for ourselves what we wanted to do and where we wanted to go with that. Um, so I'm so grateful for that. So I did grow up with values, morals, all the good morals, all the good values.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and there was a time. So when I reached high school, that was starting to get to my lowest point because I
Mm-hmm.
started almost feeding into what these people were saying, and it was like, oh well, if they're gonna say it
Mm-hmm.
and they believe it anyway, and
Right.
they don't
Right.
they already have a picture painted of me. Why not go ahead and just act out
Mm-hmm.
and do all these things? And that led into a lot of crazy, crazy things. And that turned into me kind of turning away from God.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew that I really respect and honor my parents. So I always wanted to keep serving in church for their sake. For their sake, like I'm going to help them out. I'm still a PK. I still want to be there for them no matter what. But behind the scenes, I was like, I want absolutely nothing to do with this idea of believing in God. I don't want to give up my life. I was comfortable in my mess. I was way too comfortable in my mess. That turned into the mess getting messier and messier
Mm-hmm.
and messier and messier. Um, and I think deep down, my parents knew, and I thank God every day. I could hear my parents pray for me every day, and I thank God that they did that. I thank God that they did not stop fighting and praying for me, and also for my siblings too. So one day, it was here in California. I was still in my mess, still in my depression, still in my darkness. And I remember being in a church service at a conference and nobody was looking at me, nobody was touching me, nobody was praying for me. I really was just there in the church to make my parents happy. Um, and I'm sitting there and the pastor's preaching, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I get this overwhelming feeling of like, whoa, 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 hold up. Everything clicked. There's actually this being, this higher power called God, and this God sent his son. He sent a human being on this same earth that I'm walking on today. He sent him to die for everything that I did. And in that moment, it restored me in the most beautiful way possible. It wrecked me. It was like, you're telling me that there's someone out there who sees me for my value and not what I can't, or like, I don't want to say this, but kind of just seeing me as a piece of meat. There's someone
Right.
that actually sees
Mm-hmm.
more than just physical. There's someone that sees me and doesn't see all the crap that I've done. Like there's someone that sees Ana Lorenza, that sees me and looks at me as beautiful and looks at me as pure. And ever since that moment, first of all, I was bawling. Okay. I was in the second row bawling my eyes out. I was like, don't look at the pastor. Don't look at the pastor. I hope the pastor does not look at me right now because I don't want him to call me out. Like I do not, like, oh gosh.
Right. Right.
Um, from that moment forward, I made a conscious decision in my heart. I said, Lord, from here on out, I'm done playing these games. I'm done. I'm about done. I'm sick of having my own way. I'm sick of it. So, Lord, take control of my life. I give my heart to you. I accept you as my Lord and Savior. And from then on, so many changes happened. And no one can sit here and tell me that God is not real. No one can sit here and do that.
And
Sorry, go ahead. I feel like you want to say something.
no,
Go ahead.
well, and the biggest thing is when you have kids that, and not to call you a kid, but when you have young people, yeah, when you have young people that grew up in the church, but for some reason, that's all it was is they grew up in the church, and as soon as they get a chance to get out of that church, or as soon as they get a chance to get that little bit of freedom, it's like, I'm out, I'm gone. And that's kind of why I asked you, because so for you, you have the opportunity to do whatever it is that you want to do via social media. All of the dances you're doing and all of the I don't know the TikToks or whatever that
Yeah,
you're
the
doing. The
TikTok
TikToks, we'll do that. The
because
TikToks.
I also do little skits here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so all of those things that you do that
Mhm.
ultimately have a message in a meaning. The dances that you're doing, the choreography that you're doing it to good music, and you have a chance and an opportunity to use any record that's out here. You have a chance or opportunity to do, to create any type of TikTok that's that you can think of, but instead you choose those that are going to uplift, influence. It's going to build people up. And so, one, I congratulate you. And not only you, but even your parents, because that means that they did something, said something, and are still doing and saying things that ultimately have that influence on you, and that
Yeah.
have, and even though you got away for a minute, but ultimately got you back to where you should be. So
Yeah.
shout outs to them. I don't even know them, but shout out to them. They got to be good people. They gotta
Shout
be
out to my
good. Yeah, they gotta be
parents.
good people, man.
I love them so much.
Yeah,
Yes.
they gotta be good people.
Yeah.
And so for you, what is the process? What is your process? So when you say when you create your TikToks, what is the process, and then what is the highest number of views that you received off of a particular TikTok, and then what is that process when you put all that together?
Okay. My process. I like to say I don't like to say I have ADHD or whatever, but I get easily distracted in my
Mm.
mind tends to go really, really fast, okay? My mind, I feel like, is constantly thinking. So if I'm just in the car and I have an idea, I'm like, okay, pull over. Or when I stop somewhere, I need to write this down. And I just write it down in my notes. And then I'm like, okay, work on that. Like, get that done. That's the next thing we're gonna get done. Let's go ahead and do it. So whether that's like a skit or a dance that I voluntarily want to do,
Mhm.
I start working on it right away. So as far as a dance, what I do is I come back to my home and I have an at-home studio. Um, and I like to really listen to the song. I'll sit there for as long as I need to, and I will pinpoint and I will pick a part that's like, where do I see the potential in it getting the most views? And where can I see the potential where I can create a really dope choreography that most people can do?
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay. So my mind starts going and going and going. So once I feel confident in the part that I pick, I feel like that's the most important part. If I can pick a part that I'm confident in, it'll just show. It'll show through movement, it'll show in facial expressions, it'll show in the whole video. Um, and thank God, like the past couple of dance videos that I have posted, they've gotten both of them over 10,000 views. So that's super cool. As far as a skit,
Ten
just
thousand.
those,
Wait, over 10,000 views. Oh
yes,
my
so cool.
gosh.
I was not expecting. Okay, I'm gonna make a long story short. I had an old TikTok, okay? On this old said TikTok, I had gotten over 5 million views on a video, and that's where my kind of journey with TikTok blew up. Okay. So I ended up on the creator fund, but unfortunately, because of it was all connected to my Virginia stuff, I couldn't sign the tax forms for the payments that they were making me. So I had to make a decision to kind of delete that. My 145,000 followers, I was like, you know what?
Oh man.
I can't even get the money. So I'm like, what's the point?
Oh
So
man.
I know it was
Oh,
kind of disappointing, but not at the same time because I was going through a season where God was telling me to just let all social media go.
right.
So I'm like, okay, God, you want me to do it? No problem. I let that go. I opened this TikTok, my Ana Lorenza double 06 account a few months ago, like back in April, and um and then it was just a couple months ago, just some of the videos just blew up. And it was like, whoa, that's really cool to see because they're blowing up for dance reasons now and for like these little Christian skits I do. So that's really cool. So as far as a skit, it's the same thing. If I have an idea and I'm like, oh, that'll be cool, or that'll be cool, or oh, like I want to show off this artist. Like I want to just from the
Right.
goodness
Right.
of my heart, I guess. I just want to show them off. Like I like them. So I can't be the only one in this
Mm-hmm.
world that likes this song. Like there's gonna be other people that like this song. So I kind of just post them, and then I never kind of expect any videos to blow up because for me, if I'm being completely honest, even if a video gets like 10 views, I'm like, yes,
Mm.
that's 10 people that saw the video. Like I just put myself in a room with 10 people and they sat there for a minute and watched what I just did. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So when I see a video blow up, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. I just posted one yesterday and it's already over 300,000 views. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. So,
Yeah.
so for those of you that are just tuning in, it's the Mind Your Business podcast. I'm JB Harrison. Today we have Miss Ana Lorenza, Ana from
What's
Frozen.
going
Ana
on?
Lorenza's here, and she is a creator and influencer on social media. But on top of that, she's a Christian, and I wanted to really have a conversation with her just about kind of how she walks the line and how she does what she does and why she does what she does, just that whole situation, because we know that today we are in a social media age. I don't care how
Mm-hmm.
old you are, how young we are, how young you are. We are in a social media age, and social media can be so influential. And
Mm-hmm.
for this young lady to continue to do what she's doing based on uh, the prayers and the guidance of her parents, to me says a lot, especially nowadays, man, when kids ain't really trying to hear too much what their parents got to say. I mean, that to me, that
Yeah.
it says so much. Ultimately, what is it that you would like to see happen from what you do?
My heart really is for performing and for teaching choreography.
Mm.
That's really where my heart is. And on the side, I really love acting. Anything acting, theater, I absolutely love it. Um, and it's so cool because you asked that question, and it's like I'm actually living in it right now.
Mm.
I think that's really the best part. Um, I'm already teaching in a studio here in San Diego. I'm doing that. I've been asked and I have gotten booked for live shows,
Mm.
and that's really cool. And I have been booked for music videos, so it's like I'm already living it out. You know what I
Nice.
mean?
Yeah.
So I just want to continue doing. I want to continue doing what I do, just more and more and more, and see really where God, if God wants to take me and just blow it up, cool. If God wants to still keep me here for the time that I need to be here, cool.
Mm.
Um, so really just what I'm doing now, live performances, music videos, still getting booked for making TikToks. That's another cool little thing that I get to do. People get to hire me to make a little TikTok. And
Nice.
still just running with it. I still want to be on social media. I think it's so fun. I think it's so fun to be able to be yourself on
Mm.
on social media and to really talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. I want to continue doing that. And I want to continue bringing kind of communities together because I love doing that here in San Diego. I just bringing people together to dance and create together. I love it. So I'm living it out right now. So I
Have you
think that's
have
really
you received any pushback from the type of videos or the dances that you make?
to my face, no. to my face. No. With social media comes a lot of brave people
Oh yeah,
behind their
yeah,
screen.
yep. Mm-hmm.
I feel like people can get a lot more confident,
Mm-hmm.
cocky. They don't have anything stopping them. They don't necessarily have their profile photo up. So a lot of people can tend to be more, more brave. Let's use the word brave
Mm-hmm.
behind their screen. So really the only, I guess you could say, pushback or negativity I've received is really just on TikTok and just saying like, oh, here we go again. There's that girl. There's actually a comment on one of my videos like, oh no, here we go again. Someone said, oh, like if this wasn't Christian music, this would do a lot better. Oh,
Oh wow.
this isn't even that good. Oh, just all this stuff. That I'm like, they're behind a screen. They're not even like in my life. So I really don't even look at that stuff. I do see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's on my phone. I can see it. I can read it. It's there. But I'm just like, I know that these people get way more brave behind a screen. So I just don't take it personal because I'm like, okay, I'm still gonna do my thing and I'm still gonna do my work and I'm still gonna have fun doing this. Like
Mm-hmm.
that one comment, those 5 comments, it's not gonna stop me at all, at all for what I want to do. So
And so how do you handle it? Is it a thing where you just kind of, it is what it is and keep it moving, or is it something that, because I'm sure at one time, probably when you first kind of got started, either you probably wanted to respond to every single negative joint every negative comment, or was it a thing where
yeah.
like you just were like wow, what is it that I'm doing? Like how much did it impact you or it affect you at all?
Man, okay. So let's talk about it because you just brought up a memory in my head that I totally forgot was there. So let's talk about it. I remember I'm so grateful now that my mental, my heart, my mental, it's all in alignment. Okay. So now I'm where I am now, I was not here.
Hmm.
I wasn't here where I am now.
Right.
And I remember in high school, I opened up for a step and dance competition. I was the opening act. And I had so much fun. It was so much fun. It was just so great. Everybody loved it. It was just awesome. I go back to my high school and this boy, he said he was there and he saw it and he said that he could have done so much better than what I did and that what I did was not even likable. He said that I should quit and that I should stop where I am right now because honestly, it made him laugh and that I was basically embarrassing myself. Oh, that right there, my little high school self, man, I wrote that thing in my journal and I was like, "Oh, like I'm not even a dancer anymore." Like, "Oh my gosh." And that one comment got to me so hard. I actually stopped. I stopped for a little bit. Um, and it broke me. It really, really did. It broke me in a lot of ways because I was not used to someone to my being able to say that to my face because that was to my face.
Right. Right.
So props to him for saying it to my face, but it broke me. And when I got back into, I made a decision to never, ever let something like that get to me again. Because even before receiving the Lord in my heart, I was still dancing, doing whatever I was doing out there. But I made a decision even then, never, ever let one human being who's not even a part of your life affect it that much that
Mm-hmm.
you stop your love, you stop your passion. And then it's like they win. You know what I mean? And it's like I'm not going to give into that. Like no way. If they're not even anywhere in my life and they just see me through social media or even if they have the guts to say it to my face because they're not in my circle. They're not in my circle of people that support me. They're not my family.
Mm-hmm.
They're just someone who's viewing.
Right.
To
Right.
me now, it's so easy, and I'm so grateful that my mental is here. It's so easy to block it out and just be like, okay, ignore. I'm still gonna do what I do because I know that God has me here, and because I know that God has me here, strategically placed me in my life where I am today. I'm gonna stick with the Creator who created me and I'm going to stick with what he says and what his promises says for me and what his word says for me, not what one or two or a handful of people
Mm-hmm.
say that's negative. So,
So now let's talk about on the flip. Now you have, a lot of the people that have probably said, the critics or whatever. But what about, so out of all of the comments that you've received, the positive ones, what's one that has really stuck out?
Oh man, I feel like so many of them have. One recently that I saw, and I had to take a screenshot of it. I screenshotted it on my phone. I have this kind of goal. Okay, I have this goal. I don't know if you know the artist Wande. She's
Oh,
definitely involved in
Reach Records.
yes, Reach Records,
Got
Wande.
it. Hmm.
Um, Someone commented on a video and they were like, "You should totally become a backup dancer for Wande." And I was like, that's like that's what I want to do. Like that would be so cool if I could travel to Atlanta and like just be a part of her crew for a show or something.
Hmm.
And so I had to take a screenshot because it's definitely one of my goals. And the fact that I don't really say this to people, what I just told you, like that's one of my goals very specifically. Um, so the fact that some random person said that, I was like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Like
Yeah.
that is super, super cool. Like I know it can happen one day. Um, so yeah, I think that one really stuck out to me. That's the most recent one.
Wande, if you're listening, if you catch the podcast, just in case you come across a podcast.
You know what? You know what? No, she's actually super dope. She has seen some of the dances that I have done on TikTok and Instagram. She even reposted one of the dances that I did
Oh yeah.
on her TikTok. And so like she's just really, really nice. She's always making sure that she replies back. She's great. She's sweet. So
Oh, so it's about to happen. It's about to happen. We gonna see that. We gonna see it happen. It's gonna happen.
we praying, we praying.
Yeah, I'm
We praying so hard.
I'll see. I'm gonna see. I'll probably looking at a video next thing, and I'm gonna see you in there dancing and something in it. So I'm like, oh
Oh
yeah,
man,
yeah.
talk it. Come on,
Like
keep
I'm like,
going.
yeah, yeah. Like it happened for it happened. Um, and I've said this before. Shout outs to good parents, man.
Yeah.
Shout outs to good parents, uh, upbringing, setting standards for their children, um, and to the point, setting standards for the children to the point that the kids are willing to follow that once they kind of get grown. Um, because I think for a lot of us, me, a lot of us as parents, that's one of our goals.
Right.
Um, and it doesn't always seem like it's happening. Doesn't mean that it won't happen. I mean, I know my parents probably thought the same thing. Like, yo, this guy, man, oh my gosh, man. So it's just, but it's one of those things to where
Right.
when you see it happen, especially the age that you are, a young
Mhm.
age, with all the opportunities that you have to do the total opposite, and not to say that you did it, but whatever, you're here now.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and that is just that's major in so many different ways. Uh,
Yeah.
and I salute you for what you're doing for the culture because
Mm.
what it is that you're doing, the standards that you're setting, and you may not necessarily get out here and preach every time you do a TikTok or whatever, but you're setting a standard just based
Come on.
off of what you're doing, the music you might be doing it to, the type of TikToks that you make. You're setting a standard, and you're putting your beliefs and what you believe in. You're putting it out there. You may not be on
Yeah.
a soapbox somewhere. You may not be out there preaching, but at the end of the day, you're setting a
Right.
standard and you're putting it out there. And I know that your parents got to be pleased, man.
My
They've
mom
got to be
still cries
pleased.
to this day. She still cries tears of joy to this day.
Yeah, that's got to be crazy. So for you guys that's just tuning in, it's the Mind Your Business podcast. I'm JB Harrison. It's just me, but we got Miss Ana Lorenza. She's hanging out with us today. She is a influencer. She's a choreographer and just a dope young lady, man. She's from Virginia. We just found that out. She's from VA. But
Grew up
now
there all
she's
my life.
she's out there in Cali right now, and
Yes.
she's really doing. I've listen, you guys. We're still playing around with this platform. Trying to make sure. Let me see. Boom. Is that it? That's it. Yep. That's her Instagram. It's at Ana Lorenza 6. So you guys can definitely check her out. Follow her on her Instagram. Check out what she's doing. Is it Ana Lorenza on TikTok as well?
It's Ana Lorenza 006
Double O
for that one.
six instead of 007. 006.
Yeah.
006. So make sure you guys follow her, see what she's doing, see what she's got going on. Make sure you support her in any way possible. And make them numbers, run the numbers up. Run them numbers up. When she puts out stuff, run the numbers up. Because she's good people, man. She's good people. She's doing it. She's got a good heart. And she's really working towards, just doing stuff the right way. Not to say everybody else is doing it the wrong way, but she's definitely trying to do it the right way. So shout outs to her for that. Continue doing what you're doing. So what would you say? Because young people, shoot, it ain't even young people no more. I know some old heads that's
Now.
listen, I'm just saying. I know some old heads that are right now. They doing TikToks and and I ain't. I'm just saying. Hey, it is what it is. What would you say? What is the starting point? So for those that want to get into this whole social media game, they want to get into creating content, not necessarily the choreography piece, but just creating content for social media. What's the starting point?
I feel like I need to say this, but don't give up on your niche, okay? Wherever your love and your heart and your passion is at, post that. Do that, because people are going to be able to see that through your videos. And I think the biggest thing, because this happened to me in the beginning, it did. I'm still human. It happens. I was so nervous to post any type of video on TikTok.
Right.
I was super nervous. And even my Instagram, like even Facebook sometimes. I was super, super nervous. And I just knew for myself, because I was so scared to do it, I was like, hold on. That's exactly why I should do it. This is probably what I'm supposed to be doing. Because I'm so scared, like these negative thoughts are trying to hold me back. So I'm supposed to be doing it. Once you get over that hurdle and you post your first video, keep going. I'm telling you, keep going. So just jump over that. And I know you can do it. You have to tap into a different side, and it can get kind of nerve-wracking and it is kind of scary, but tap into that and post it. Just do it and don't stop. Keep being consistent. Be consistent. Keep posting whatever it is that you love, and just do it. Have fun. Don't ever take anything too serious. And I think the biggest thing too is appreciate the numbers that you get. If you get 5 people looking at something, you just put yourself in a room physically with 5 people who took out the time to see you do what you do. Those 5 people can turn into 20. You just had 20 people sit in a room watching you perform, watching you do your whatever it is that you're doing on TikTok, on social media. If you are appreciative for those small numbers, watch them grow. Watch them grow. And don't ever forget where you came from. Don't forget it. You got to stay humble now. You don't want
Oh man, and I think that's probably the biggest thing is fear.
Yeah.
People are afraid to just take that step. And they will, a lot of times they'll talk themselves out of whatever. I'll even say for me, my personal issue. This is my personal issue, and I'm gonna put this out here.
Let's talk about it.
It's called paralysis by analysis. And so for me, I will think about things so much to the point to where they won't get done. I may want it a certain way. And until I get it that way, until I may get all the equipment or the gear that I want or whatever the case may be, I may never do it. And then in turn, it'll never get done.
Right.
Or if I'm constantly trying to think, how do I do it? What should I do? Should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? And what'll happen is, throughout all of that, you trying to think about it and figure that piece out, it won't happen. It won't happen because you have thought about it so much that so much time has passed by, and it's now another year, and this year you're still thinking about that. Well, if I do it this way, and you still ain't do it.
Yeah.
So for me personally, it's almost like getting thrown into the deep end at the pool. You just got
Mm-hmm.
to jump in there, man, and hope you can swim and just do what it is that you can do.
Yeah.
And then even like we were talking earlier, to the point of it may not be perfect or it may not be the way that you want it when you first start, but as you go, it's
As you
that
go,
it's
come
that
on.
that building process,
Yeah.
and people will, one they'll see that we were talking about the crispiness of the camera. You know what I mean? We were talking about that. And
Yeah.
so, I'm gonna put that out
Looking
there. We're
nice.
gonna put that out there. So, and even with that, it's starting from somewhere and then just the
Right.
progress so that
Right.
ultimately people can see the growth and then you can see the growth because I think if you see
Yeah.
the growth, then it'll also, it'll encourage you to continue to keep going.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times we talk our way out of it, mentally,
Yeah.
emotionally,
Yeah.
and it never gets done.
Yeah. I think that for me, hearing that, there were so many times where that has happened to me. And I've had to actually talk myself out of that, kind of out of that mindset, because then I don't like feeling, man, all this time has gone by and nothing happened
Right.
because of myself.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I want to do. This is where I want
Mhm.
to be. And I'm the only one stopping myself. Literally, there's no one knocking at my door. There's no one bothering me. There's no one here to tell me that I really can't do it. I have a good family. I have God. I'm here. So do it, And I think that the whole progress, seeing that the journey is so so beautiful.
Yeah.
Earlier I said I'm actually living out what I want to do. I'm actually living in it today. That doesn't mean it stops where I'm at. It just means let's go harder.
Mhm.
What more can I do? How can I get better? How can I get better? Because everything, really, it's so true. Everything, you can learn from it. You can learn. If I have a dance project, I just had a huge one this weekend. It was super awesome. And even that, I thought I planned out everything perfect to a T. And then I walked out of there, and the next day I was like, man, I learned a lot from that. And I know how I can make it better for next time.
Mhm.
It's about this journey and about this progress of learning and getting better and getting better and getting better. And I think that's so, so beautiful. And I really feel like people should never, ever give up on themselves. Never, never quit on themselves.
And,
There's
and I,
something so beautiful.
but I
Hmm.
think the other piece to it is if you don't have the correct people around you
Oh, come on.
that are also
Come on.
help you to keep from going
Yeah.
where you want to be.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a, you hear this all the time. If you don't have a good support system, that support system, we'll put it like this: the system that you have, whether it's a support system or a system that's going to keep you tied down, held back, whatever, it's going to be just that. It's going to be one or
Yeah.
the other. Either somebody's
Yeah.
going to kick you forward or they're going to pull you back.
Yeah.
Your circle is either going to push you or they're going to pull you.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you've got to make sure that you have the right people surrounding you. And
Come
even
on.
if and even if you don't have the right people, you might be better off by not having people at all, and you just get out there and do it. And then once people start to see what you're doing, then
They'll
they will
come.
come,
They'll come.
and become your support system. But I think a lot of times it's the people that we surround ourselves with
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
ultimately can be are the ones that push us forward, push us ahead, or they can be the ones that's going to pull us and keep us tied down and stuck in a place to where we never get an opportunity to see the things that we know that we should or could be doing.
Right.
And I keep saying this. I'm gonna say it again. I'm sure your parents. So when your mom and them, when you were like, hey, I'm gonna start doing videos, social media, I'm gonna start doing these TikToks. What was your parent? What were their responses?
Okay.
What did you listen? No,
So
what did your dad say first?
my dad. All right, let's talk about my dad. I think my dad. So when you look at him physically, he can be kind of intimidating. He's kind of a short man, but he's got like the face, and
Mm.
he's like you can get kind of intimidated by him. Um, he's the biggest teddy bear, I think, and he's really a huge, huge support for me. So even back in Virginia when I was doing all this stuff, he was like, "Well, what can I do? What can I do to help you? You let me know." So
Mm.
even back in Virginia, when I had the idea of like, "Oh, I want to bring people together, maybe like shoot a dance video, or I want to do this," he was like, "Okay, mirrors in the garage." I'm like, "Okay, mirrors in the garage." Like, "Okay, let's do it." So I am so, so grateful for that, because he did it for my siblings as well.
Mm.
So it's also because he also knew his calling is to be a pastor. Okay, that's his calling. And I feel like there's so many different callings. So when he had us and we had, my brother's a barber, my sister's a professional singer and content creator.
Matter of
Um,
fact, I think I saw some of the cuts. Your brother, where is he
he's in
located?
Virginia.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I've seen some of his cuts too. He's nice, man. He's nice with the clippers. He's nice
he's
with the
nice.
clippers. Okay, but go ahead.
I'm
I'm
wearing
sorry.
his creator shirt.
Oh, nice.
I'm wearing it.
Oh,
Had to rep it
nice.
for one time.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
um, so even with that, like because I was younger, I'm like, oh, kind of like waiting for my time. I really got to see my dad help my sister with whatever she wanted to do. He was like, what can I do? Even my brother starting off in the kitchen in our home. My dad was like, come on, bring the people into our kitchen.
Wow.
Then that was to our garage. And like me here, my dad, as soon as we came here, he was like, how can we do this like at home studio? It's like, oh, Dad, I love you so much. Like, Dad, I love you so much. And he loves it. He loves when I'm making all these faces. He'll be like, oh,
Oh, he's your hype
oh,
man. So he's your,
Lorenza.
oh, your
Yeah.
dad is your hype man. Okay. All right.
Oh my, at all my shows, he always goes, okay, this is only for my podcast people. So if you're not on the podcast, you'll never hear this. He calls me Lolo. That is
Okay.
my nickname because Lorenzo is my middle name. So he calls me Lolo. And at every show, he'd be, Lolo, Lolo. I'm like, oh my God. He's the loudest one, the loudest. So to this day, he's like that. I had to show up in LA, and my parents came to surprise me. And even in the midst of all those people, I could still hear my dad.
Nice.
There's so many
Oh,
people.
nice.
So he's a big support, and I will never ever take I'll never oh my God, what's the word? I'll really just never forget all the things that he did for me.
Yeah.
So
That's major, man.
that's my dad for you.
That's yeah. That's major, man. Shout outs to pops, man. Listen, I never met
Shout
y'all,
out to Pops.
but look, I got Anna here, and shout outs to you guys, man, because you guys done a great job. Seems like the kids are doing well. Like I said, your brother nice with the Clippers. Hey, look, and you might need to holler at him about some shirts. Holler at him. Let me know what we can do. So yeah, so
I got you.
so that's what that is. And also, I want to say again, for those that might just be catching the show, 1 year late, but whatever. You should have came. You're late. It is what it is. We've got Miss Ana Lorenza on. We're hanging out. We're talking today. She is a
What's going on?
creator slash influencer slash choreographer, and the stuff that she does is wholesome. It's clean, and not only all of those things, but she's getting views, man. Like people are really checking out her stuff. And it'd be one thing if you were wholesome, clean, and your stuff sucked, and nobody's following you, and you weren't getting
Yeah,
views. I mean, I just look. I'm an honest guy. I'm just gonna put it out there.
no facts.
But
I don't think I would be here, but
you know what
for
I'm saying?
sure.
Right. But apparently your stuff is good because you got the followers. You're getting the feedback that you want,
Mhm.
and ultimately you're doing it. You're doing it. So for those, we kind of put the information out there for those that might be thinking about trying to start a TikTok. Is Snapchat still a thing, or what it was? You know,
Oh, please. Oh,
is it?
no, I do
I'm
not
just
own Snap. I don't have.
no. Okay, listen.
No, 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 no.
Look, I'm just asking. I don't know. I got you see, I got grays. I got grays here. That means I'm of a certain age.
No,
So certain things that I might be a little late on. I knew Snap was a little hot for a minute. I didn't know now. So I figured I'd ask.
no.
So
I mean, for me personally, I was trying to use it as a marketing tactic, but I got way too distracted on there. And I'm like, you know
mm,
what? I have Instagram, I have TikTok. I don't need Snapchat. I don't even have Twitter. So I'm like, I'm gonna just leave those over there. So for me personally, I just like if I know I'm good at TikTok and Instagram, I'm gonna be
mm.
good at TikTok and Instagram. So
So those are like the go tos for you. TikTok and
yeah,
Instagram.
for sure. And then Facebook just for for like the older generation, that
Hold on now.
like I
Hold on.
know,
Hold it now.
maybe I didn't.
Wait now. See now, come on now.
I mean, okay. Let me go back for like my family. I just like to update my family on there. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay.
So for those of you that are viewing right now on Facebook, apparently we need to switch the platform.
Oh gosh.
Me and
Oh, I
Anna,
forgot.
we'll talk
What?
about that. We're gonna talk about it later. But apparently we need to switch. We need to switch the platform. Shout outs to Facebook. Y'all been good. But we'll figure it out.
Shout out to Facebook.
So what's next for what's next for you, man? What do you got coming up next? That you're looking forward to.
Oh man, I have a show up in San Francisco that I got booked for. I'm really, really excited for that. I have a couple of TikToks that I need to get done that I got hired for. Can't wait to do that. I'm about to be on girl boss mode as soon as we're done here.
Mm.
Um, Man, what else? There was something coming up, but it got postponed until next year.
Okay.
But right now, I'm really just focusing on the show in San Francisco, the TikToks that I got booked for, and then going to. This is another secret if you're on the podcast. Going to Atlanta soon.
Hey,
I'm going out there to teach a dance class. That's going to be
hey.
super super fun. Yes. So I feel like I have a ton of things to look forward to when it comes to that. So yeah, all that good
I
stuff.
may be able to link you with. I got a guy that's down in Atlanta who's a really dope video guy, director, blah blah blah.
For sure,
And
that'd be super
let
dope.
me see what might be able to happen. He's a really
Everyone
good.
listening to the podcast, you heard it. JB
Yeah,
said it. He's gonna
yeah.
get.
He's yeah. I'm gonna try to see if we can make that connect. He's a real good guy.
For sure. Thank you.
Um, we'll try to put that together. So, and if you go down to Atlanta and you just so happen to run into what's her name, Wande, right? What what's that gonna look
Yeah.
like? Like what how would you sell yourself? Or would you say, hey, I'm Anna, you reposted one of my TikToks. Let's make something happen.
um, I feel like because we have been following each other for a while now. She already knows what I'm about. She
Mm,
does. We have had behind the scene conversations. She doesn't know that I'm going out there yet, but I'm gonna reach out.
right, right,
Like
right.
hello, that's how it starts.
Mm,
You gotta start somewhere. So of course I'm gonna reach out, even if that is just taking her out to lunch
nice.
and that if that's just it, then that's it. If
Mm,
she wants me to hop in a music video, cool, I'll hop in a music video. If she whatever, honestly, whatever. So lunch, video, walk down the street, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Coffee.
okay. So let me ask you this. So
Yes.
you said that you got hired
Yes.
to do some TikToks.
Yes.
So now at this point, you're able to kind of monetize it,
Yes.
and in a sense, make some money off of it. What was that process like, and how did you know? How did you know that now it was time for you to kind of go into business mode and kind of make that piece, like make that transition from when it was just you kind of doing it to having fun or whatever to hey, I want you to come do or whatever, whatever. Like how did that work out?
Right. So back in last October or November, can't really remember. I performed at a show up in LA, a Christian concert that was happening up there. And after that, I think I made the most of my connections out there. I mean, it's LA, and then you're bringing people, CHH together. So I made a ton of connections. Um, and it was so cool. After it was done, it was like, hey, I want to book you for. It first started out with like music videos. Hey, I want to book you for my music video, and I was like, yeah, for sure. I didn't have any type of rates or
Right,
anything like
right,
that
yeah,
yet. Like
yeah,
nothing, nothing. I was
yep,
just trying to do the show because like I'm just trying to have fun, like this is a great opportunity and like these are my friends. Like I just want to go. Um, and then I was like, oh man. Then like the list started piling up. I'm like, man, I got 5 people that are asking for a video and they're following up. I'm like, all right, let's do this. So I really had to get in girl boss mode for that. Now, when it came to TikTok though, when I started it, um, I have, people following me on Instagram and they always see what I do. Um, my first paid TikTok was just someone that asked and they just believed in me and they saw value in me and they just asked, how much do you charge for a TikTok? Do you see this being a TikTok? Do you see this going anywhere? And just let me know how much you charge. What is your rate? And I was like, wow, people are even willing
yeah,
to pay for a quick 15-second to 30-second video for I mean, of course, for the promotion of their song. Um, once that guy reached out to me, I was like, you know what? I can do this. And this is something it's always been in my head. Always my sister's been telling me, Anna, do this, do this, do this. But I'm grateful that I started at the time that I did start because God's timing is everything. Um, and after that one, it was like, I really can do this. And then once someone saw that I did a dance to his song, they were like, oh, wait, 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 wait.
mm-hmm,
Can you do one for mine? What's your rate? Or sometimes a lot of people don't even ask what my rate is. Like, can you do this? And then I tell them, yeah, man, here's my rate.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean? So
right,
now it's turned into this little business for me. And
nice,
it was just that one video. After that one video, it was like, whoa, this was so much fun
mm-hmm,
to create for this artist. And his name is Wes Harris. I was like, man, it was so fun to create, and he believed in me. If he can believe in me, I know there are other artists out there that
right,
believe in me too. So it's just kind of every time I post a dance video, it's just more, the list just keeps building up. They're like, oh man, like I know that artist. I can't believe you
mm-hmm,
did a dance for that artist. Okay, boom, 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 boom. And then like they see the reviews on my Instagram. I have a review highlight. So, they can see all that stuff and then they reach out. Then it's like, boom, let's connect. Let's put in the work. Let's do this. Let's promote your song at the same time it's promoting me, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
So it's like we're coming together and we're able to kind of like just promote each other. It's super
right,
cool,
right,
super fun.
and that's good, man. I mean, it's good because one, you're getting to do what you love to do anyway, and then on
Yeah.
on
Oh
top of
gosh.
that, now you're able to make money doing it too.
Right.
So that's
Right.
always a plus, man. Like you can't go wrong with that.
Man,
Like
you really can't.
yeah, that's a plus. And I think ultimately, I think that outside of people that are watching, listening, whatever, ultimately that's what people are trying to figure out is how to
Hmm.
get paid off of doing what it is they love to do.
Right. Right.
And really, that's what it is because I've heard someone say this that if at the end of the day, if you worked a job that almost didn't pay you anything, but you love to do it, you would continue to do it. So then
Hmm.
if you can work that same job and get paid
Yep.
the money that you really want to get paid, then I mean, you'll love it. I mean, you'll probably be the happiest person because you have a lot of people that, you got people that make good money, but they hate their jobs.
Yeah.
But if you
It
can
breaks my
really,
heart every day.
yeah, if you can figure out how it is that you can get paid doing the thing that you love to do, and
Amazing.
yeah, and the crazy part, and I'm just gonna tell you the crazy part is at the age that you are, I ain't gonna put it out there, but at the age that you are, you've already tapped into that. Now, you may not be getting all of the money that you may want right now, but but the key is you are well on your way.
Come on. Thank you.
And the thing about that is once again, it just shows you're being rewarded for your faithfulness, your character, your integrity, all of those good things. You're being rewarded
Yeah.
for it. You know what I mean? And it's nothing like being able to see that. You know, when you're out here doing the right things,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
you can see the tangible reward for doing the right thing in comparison to the wrong thing, then that makes you, even when once you makes you want to continue doing it the right way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
The flip it around. If you're doing the right thing and it's like you're doing the right thing, but it's you're not seeing any benefit from it. You're not, it's like, well, dang, well, why I keep doing it this way? Maybe I need to switch it up. But when
Mm.
you can see the rewards and the benefits of doing stuff correctly in the right way, man, that's freaking amazing, man. So, it
Amazing.
is, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We're about to get out of here. Let me ask you this, and this is how we kind of do it. Give me a high and a low. So your highest high and your lowest low of your journey so far.
Does it matter where I start? Do you want the
Uh,
highest high first?
that's on you. Either one works.
Let's start with my lowest low. Um, because like I said earlier, I'm so happy my heart and my mental is in alignment now with the Lord. I'm so grateful for that. I'm still human. I am still very, very much human. Um, so my lowest low will always be, and it's something of course I'm always constantly working on, is comparison.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's a low for me. It's a low for me when I start doing that to myself. I'm
yeah,
only doing it to myself. Um, I'm not necessarily saying that it happens a lot, but does it happen?
yeah,
Yes. That wonderful cycle of comparison.
yeah. Gotcha.
um, that has to be one of my lowest lows for sure. But my highest, I have to say this because my highest is when I can get over when I
Mm,
can get over that cycle of comparison and I can break through that and realize, no, 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 no. I'm Ana Lorenza and there is no other Ana Lorenza. That dancer, there is no other said name, whatever their name is.
mm.
That's them. This is me. So my highest high always has to be overcoming the comparison and still being able to do what I want to do without anybody holding me back. And even
Man,
myself, like literally, even myself holding me back.
stop playing. And that's probably, especially with creatives, entrepreneurs, just shoot people in general. That comparison is a killer. You know what I mean? Like when you shoot, even the stuff that I do, and I sit back and I compare, and I'm like, dang man, what is it? What do I need to do it this way? Maybe I need to switch it up or whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, I heard somebody say, at the end of the day, you are assigned to reach certain people, and there
Mhm.
could be a million people out there doing the same thing that you're doing,
Mhm.
but you're who you are, and you're gonna do it your way, and you have people that only you can reach, and those only people that you're going to be able to reach in comparison to whoever you're comparing yourself to, that can't do it the way that you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? And that comparison thing is a killer. And I think there's
Mm.
so many people that struggle and fight with that on a daily
Yes.
basis. You know what I mean? Like now, the key to it is how do you get over it? How do you get past that? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't figured that answer out yet.
Mm.
But one thing that I do know is just keep doing what you do. Don't worry about what somebody else. Don't worry. For me, I can't worry about the other podcasts out here. Now I can invite
Not with
somebody.
this camera quality. With
Hey,
this camera quality and
uh,
mic.
I can't compare myself. I can't do what they do, but I can
Right.
do what I do. and just
Yes.
make sure that what I do, I'm doing it to the best of my ability. And so
And
for Anna, now I can't say your last name the way you did, Ana Lorenza. I'm just
Lorenza.
Lorenza. So for Anna, same thing.
Yeah.
You just continue doing it the best that you can, based off of what God's given you the gifts to
Yes.
do, man. And just keep doing it. And ultimately, that's gonna be the thing to take you over the top anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So look, I appreciate you for taking time out. You out there in Cali. I know you're a little behind on the time. It's, I don't know, 3 hours, something like that.
3 hours. three
But I
hours.
do. I appreciate you. Um,
I appreciate you,
I, I
JB.
I
Thank
know
you.
you got work to do. Entrepreneurs, they one thing about it, that clock don't ever stop. But you took an hour and some change out of your time and your day to sit down and have this conversation.
The
Uh,
best hour and some change of my day.
hey, now that's what I'm talking about. But I do. I appreciate you. I'm going to also see if I connect you with my man out there in Atlanta. For real when you get down there. And but I
For
do.
sure.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you. Tell your parents, give them hugs for me. There's
I
nothing.
will.
There is nothing like hearing uh, the journey and the struggle, but then the triumph because of what your parents have done.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I mean, it's nothing like it, man. We hear stories all the time about people that had garbage parents and the stuff that they had to go through, but here you got
Mm.
parents that pray for you constantly, support you constantly, and they're right there. And there's so many people that if they had good people, good parents in their lives like that, it's no telling where they would be. So hug them
Mm.
for me, man. I ain't never met them, but please
I
give them a hug.
will.
You know what I
You'll
mean?
meet them one day,
Oh, for
hopefully.
sure,
One
for
day.
sure. I appreciate you. And
I appreciate
let's
you,
let's let's
JB.
stay in touch for sure.
For sure. Thank you
All right.
so much for having me on here. It was such
Indeed,
an honor.
indeed,
Thank
indeed.
you.
Thank you.
And shout out to everyone who listened. Shout out to
Yeah.
y'all.
Well, yeah, we got some
And then love from
comments.
San Diego.
Oh, yeah. What about Virginia?
Hey, two up, two
See
down.
what happened.
Yeah, all
See how
day.
you get. You done left Virginia, got out there to Cali, and now yeah. Okay. All right. I see how it is, man.
No, no, no. This is a little piece of info. There's a music video out there, and at the very end, I threw it up, man. I had to represent. I had to. I'm in the
Ah.
corner, but I'm like, yeah,
Okay. All right. Just making
yo,
sure.
you can't forget where you came from. You
All right.
can't.
Just want to make sure you ain't don't get the tripping out there in California, man.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to shoot you a screenshot. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot it and send it to you right now.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right, JB,
All right.
appreciate
All
you.
right.
All right, peace.
Once again, you guys, that was Miss Ana Lorenza. And it's the Mind Your Business podcast. I appreciate you guys. Powered by Hanging with the Harrisons. We do this every Monday at 7:30, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys, lock it in, man. We're talking to entrepreneurs, creators, business owners, influencers, and we're just having the conversations, talking about the journey that it took for them to get to where they were to where they are now, and where they plan on going and going and going and going. So make sure you guys tune in. We've got a couple other dates lined up. We've got Scratch Bakery is going to be on. We got Mr. Reggie Halsey coming up. And then we also have the Colliers coming up at the end of the month. They've got a whole cooking thing, pour and stay full, and they can cook their faces off. So that's what it is, man. I appreciate you guys. Mind Your Business podcast. It's me, JB Harrison, man, and we will talk real soon, man. You have a good evening.